Nearly a fifth of the world's oil travels through the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran has said it will target any vessel using the waterway. And Pope Leo continued his reflections on Lumen Gentium at his general audience today, focusing on the divine and human nature of the Church. He said the two dimensions, quote, integrate harmoniously without one overshadowing the other. Thus, the Church lives in this paradox. She is a reality that is both human and divine, which welcomes the sinful man and leads him to God. He said Jesus makes himself visible through the weakness of creatures, continuing to manifest himself and to act. For more news with a Catholic perspective, visit EWTNnews.com. Women of Grace with Johnnette Williams starts now.
This is Women of Grace Live, discussing issues important to your life and faith. Spiritual insight, practical wisdom. Join us as we transform the world one woman at a time. Women of Grace, for such a time as this. Now, here's your host, Johnnette Williams.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Women of Grace Live. I am Johnnette Williams, so very happy to be with you today on this beautiful day that the Lord has made. It is always a time to rejoice when we have the opportunity to come together in His name and to share this time together and use these airwaves for His honor and His glory. Today is Wednesday. You know what that means. It's Wacky Wednesday. Sue Brinkmann is with us. She's going to be coming on board here very, very soon, and we're going to be taking your questions throughout this time. We invite you to give us a call here, 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. It's toll free for you right here in North America. We invite you to call us with all of your questions about some of the weird and wacky things that you have seen going on in your area, right? Or perhaps maybe that you've participated in the past and you're just not really sure if it's all okay. Well, we're going to be helping you to sort that out today as we look at those particular activities and perhaps therapies through the eyes of sacred scripture and the teachings of the church. So we're inviting you to join us here. Again, that toll-free number, 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. I'm also inviting you to use the opportunity that's available for you at EWTN Radio's YouTube channel. Right there is a chat feature. You can put in your question, comment. Please do tell us who you are, where you are, and how it is that you're listening if it is not through social media. And we'll get your question up on the board. We will indeed be able to address it. I am eager as always to hear from you, and we always welcome you to give us a call here. If you're outside of North America, I don't often give that number, but I want to give it today. We are very happy to hear from you as well. Let me give you that toll-free number. Oh, excuse me, it's not toll-free. Let me give you your number, however. Country code 1-205-292. Now I've gotten myself confused. 1-205-271-2985. I don't know. Have you ever had that happen to you? It happens to me a little frequently. 205-271-2985 is the way that you can join us if you're outside of North America. Eager to talk with you, and eager to be with you if you are listening to us from anywhere near Fall River, Massachusetts. I am encouraging you, if you're anywhere near Fall River, Massachusetts, to be sure to join us this beautiful weekend. We are going to be gathering together there at St. Anthony of the Desert Maronite Church. We're going to be in the beautiful spiritual center that they've got there for a wonderful day of retreat for women. We've got a beautiful theme. I've been praying about this theme, and I have been asking the Lord for guidance and direction regarding this theme and what to present, because it's so full and you can't present all of it in one day. As a matter of fact, books have been written on it, and it is this: in the footsteps of Mary, in the footsteps of Mary, walking the way of the cross. In the footsteps with Mary, walking the way of the cross. It's a beautiful, beautiful theme, I think, for us to explore together as we are deeply now into the Lenten season. So I'm inviting all of you to join me there. It's going to be just lovely. And I encourage you to check all of the information out at our website, womenofgrace.com. That's womenofgrace.com. All you have to do is click on events, which you're going to see up there in the purple navigational bar. It's going to give you all of the details about the events. It's also highlighted for you in our slideshow. But as I say, it is this Saturday, March the 7th. Doors open at 8 a.m. It's going to run until 4 p.m., at which point in time it will close with the liturgy. We invite you to join us at 8 a.m., and then we will be engaging in morning prayer at 9:15, and then we get started. First fruits, always to the Lord. And then we get started. So it's going to be, I think, just quite an amazing opportunity for us. So please do come. It's not too late to sign up. We've had just a great, great group of women that have signed up thus far. You are welcome to join them. I'm inviting you to do so. Drive in if you have to. I'm going to be flying into Providence, Rhode Island, and given that, it's not that far away. I happen to know that because I'll be making that drive. So inviting you to join us for this beautiful event. Also want to remind you of this. Saturday, March the 21st is going to find me in Canada for the Dynamic Women of Faith Catholic Women's Conference in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. So I'm looking forward to being with all of the good women who will be coming for this event. It's just going to be a lovely, lovely day. I know it's going to just be one of those moments in time that you'll be able to look back on and say, gee, that's when this happened for me and my relationship with the Lord. Those are always highlighted moments in our lives that continue to give us grace. So I'm hoping that you will join me there at the Dynamic Women of Faith Catholic Women's Conference there in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Again, all of the information in the events section at our website, womenofgrace.com. It's going to be, again, this opportunity to come together in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ is always a glorious moment, no matter where it's taking place or who's leading it or how it's developing. And the reason for that is because Jesus assures us in sacred scripture that when 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, that he is there in our midst, right? The Holy Spirit comes, and the Holy Spirit enlightens us, guides us, directs us, helps us to see more clearly, begins for us to have the opportunity of the light of grace to lead us in new directions. So, I'm always encouraging you, take advantage of these opportunities that are in your area. And when I am presenting, it's just always a delight to meet you, to engage with you, oftentimes to pray with you, just to spend that beautiful time together. I am also going to be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yes, I am, for the 2nd annual Flourish Women's Retreat. Restored, refreshed, and renewed in Christ is that theme. I love it. I love alliteration. But I love these particular words that are alliterative: restored, refreshed, and renewed in Christ, right there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That is going to take place at the St. Charbel Spiritual Center located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're going to be there for a beautiful time in the Lord. It is the 2nd annual Flourish Women's Retreat. I presented that retreat last year, and they asked me back again this year, so I'm very excited about that. It's really based, I think, on 2 Corinthians 3:17, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. We'll be exploring that particular passage and many others as we join together there. When is that happening? Friday, April the 17th. It begins 4:30 to 9:30 p.m. is the opening time and the closing time on Friday, resuming on Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., a big long day with the Lord. And then again, closing out on Sunday, April the 19th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we'll close again with the Divine Liturgy. Well, we'll have the Divine Liturgy actually in the morning at 11 a.m. But I'm inviting you to get out there and check it out. I am hoping that we will see many of you in that Pittsburgh area showing up for this beautiful time in the Lord. So those are, some of the opportunities that you have to join me, and we can walk together in the path of God and discover there the riches he has in mind for us. Well, here we are on this Wacky Wednesday. Sue Brinkmann is waiting waiting for us. We're bringing her on right after this break. 833-288-EWTN is the toll-free number for you to use to get your question to us. You can leave a message for us out there at EWTN Radio's YouTube channel. More to come on the other side of the break, inviting you to stay tuned.
Hi, this is Matt Swaim. Get everything you need to start your day from a Catholic perspective on the Sunrise Morning Show, tomorrow morning at 6 Eastern on EWTN Radio.
The Holy Father's prayer intention for the month of March is for disarmament and peace. Let us pray that nations move toward effective disarmament, particularly nuclear disarmament, and that world leaders choose the path of dialogue and diplomacy instead of violence.
Spreading the good news of salvation.
This is EWTN Radio.
What if beauty was something more than we see? What if it was something we seek? I'm David Henry. We're traveling across Italy, exploring the people.
Well, I think I'm going to get used to it here.
The culture.
This is such a full circle moment for me.
And the sacred art to uncover the beauty that's been speaking to hearts for centuries.
Michelangelo has found the Lord at the end of his life.
It makes me emotional.
Along the way, I've met monks, musicians, artists, even a few fellow pilgrims.
Viva España!
And each one has helped me uncover deeper meaning.
Trying to understand the mind of Caravaggio. I get fired up about this stuff, man.
Because beauty isn't just decoration. It's the language of the soul. Come, join me to see how timeless beauty still speaks to us today and how it just might change the way we see everything.
Seeking Beauty with David Henry, streaming now on EWTN+.
Lent is a time for us to put Christ first and to make sure that all our works of self-denial, prayer and charity lead us to Jesus Christ.
EWTN, your Lenten companion.
Oh my goodness, you hear that music. It is Wednesday. It's Wacky Wednesday here on Women of Grace Live with Sue Brinkmann. We're going to be talking about the weird and the wacky as we make our way through the program today. We want you to join us. Call in with your questions. We're happy to get them answered for you. 833-288-EWTN. That's the toll-free number for you if you're here in North America. That's 833-288-3986. We're also available if you are outside of North America. That number is country code 1-205-271-2985. Again, that's country code 1-205-271-2985. 2985. Again, social media still available for you. Just get out there to EWTN Radio's YouTube channel. Use the chat feature there to put in your question or comment, insight, inspiration, or word of encouragement. We're going to get that retrieved for you and up on the board, and we'll get it addressed. We have Matthew Gabensky out there on the phones today, taking your call, getting you up on the board so we can talk with you. We also have Pedro out there. He is in social media land, grabbing your questions and comments right there off of EWTN Radio's YouTube channel, and he's getting them to us, and we'll be able to address them. We always welcome you to use those opportunities. And we have the lovely and wonderful Vanessa Sanchez right there in the studio on the campus, pulling levers and punching buttons and setting dials and keeping us on the air with you today. I want to send out some congratulations. Congratulations to another EWTN Radio partner in Billings, Montana. Billings Catholic Radio is there. They've got 3 stations serving Billings and Laurel, Montana. It is celebrating 15 years with us. Woohoo! 15 years. Congratulations to Deacon Roy Brown and his team at Billings Catholic Radio from your friends here at EWTN. I've had the great privilege of being out there a couple of times in Billings with them for their various events, and it's always a joy to be with the good people of Billings Catholic Radio and all of their constituents. So we want to send out congratulations to you. Yes, indeed. And did you know that if you have the Radio FM app, you can listen to EWTN Radio's live stream. Open the Radio FM app and search EWTN. We're available to you through so many different platforms, so many different opportunities. And I think it's one of the great ways that this mission of Mother Angelica's is continuing to reach the world using every means available, right? And the good Lord would have us do that. John Paul II was a big proponent of using technology for the good and using it for the propagation of the gospel message. And we're all happy to be able to use it for that purpose. So get that Radio FM app, search for EWTN, open it up, and listen to us live. Or you can simply download the EWTN app. That's just a great one to use, and it's all available for you right there. All right, without further ado, let me welcome Sue. Hi, Sue. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful today. How about you? It's going to be another wacky one, I can tell already.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, it's always wacky here. I want to give you a couple of minutes because you are now into the book club offering, Journey to Joy. And this is a walking with Our Lady, very similar to the topic that I'm going to be speaking on there in Fall River, Massachusetts this weekend. And I know it's going gangbusters, and I thought you might like to just share the good news with all of our listeners.
Yes, that is such a wonderful study, Journey to Joy, and it's reflections on the 7 sorrows of Our Lady. And what we're really finding out in that discussion, we're all kind of talking about the way we handle suffering, how we respond to suffering. And we're learning through the book how to turn that suffering into joys, how to find the joy in realizing that these sufferings come from the hand of a Father who loves us, and that all will work out for our good, and learning how to do that, learning how to stay in the present moment, learning how to rely on grace for things, learning how to also, this week we were learning about how to don't forget the past and all the wonderful things God has done for you in the past. Remind yourself of those things when you're going through hard times, and it really does lift you up and help you to get yourself through whatever it is you might be enduring at the moment. So it teaches us really how to suffer. And I think it's a wonderful teaching for Lent, because let's face it, I mean, Lent is associated with suffering. These are sufferings we take upon ourselves, but this also it shows us how to keep that suffering in perspective. We're doing it out of love, and with love, it makes everything a little bit easier, as long as you're doing it for a very, very good reason, and that's to say, Jesus, I'm sorry, take me back, bring me closer to you. Help me, give me the grace to not to fall again. And it really will amount to, I think, in the end, a very, very joyful Easter. I think Easter is going to be so much more joyful because we will have learned, I think, through this book. It's just so well written by Father Brandenburg. He's just such a great writer, and it's very practical, down to earth, everyday language. Anybody could understand it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know it's going so well, and it is a beautiful book. I had the opportunity in years past to interview him, and those presentations are available to our website underneath the television section there. Just put in Journey to Joy, and it will come up, or put in his name, Brandenburg, with B-U-R-G on the end. So all of that, I think is so important, Sue. It reminds us, of course, that our Lord traveled the way of the cross. We're baptized into the Paschal mystery. So the way of the cross is our inheritance, but we don't walk it alone. And Jesus has made the way for us, and it's a way of great grace. And when we are entrusted with great sufferings, we have to know that in the midst of that great suffering, there is great joy. And Father Brandenburg's book, I think, really helps us to plummet the depths of that. And I want you to know, friends, I do believe it's still available for you out there at EWTN. EWTN's religious catalog. Just go to EWTNRC.com. You can search for it there, just a beautiful opportunity. Well, Sue, I know you've got a couple of topics that you want to get into. We do have Edie with us holding on out there, so I'm thinking maybe we should take that call, and then we'll get into the topics of the day. What do you think?
Sure.
Okay. All right, let's get to Edie. Edie is in Jamestown, New York today. First-time caller. Ringing my bell for you. Share with us, Edie, what's going on in your life.
Well, hi. Well, hi there. I'm glad to talk to you. I am engaged to a man in Florida, and I thought we were both Roman Catholic, only to find out he is old Roman Catholic. and my priest says I need to steer him away from that and get him go to the churches down there that are in the diocese. I don't know.
All right.
Does the church allow a marriage between Old Roman and, it just seems like there's this division, this schism. What do I do?
Yeah, I'm not all that familiar with Old Roman Catholic. Is not something that I'm necessarily familiar with. What I'm wondering is if he is involved in a sect that would be very similar to the what is the name, Sue, of the one that's broken away? The PPX. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that it might be something like that. What I'm seeing here online is that it represents a body of churches that's separated from the Roman Catholic Church, primarily rejecting the 1870 Vatican I dogmas of papal infallibility and universal jurisdiction. So it's not quite the same as that, but it is a sect, SECT. It's broken away. It's rejecting papal infallibility. It is looking at some of the dogmas of the church and stands in opposition to those. So this is not a Catholic church. Maybe they hold on to some aspects of it, such as the Tridentine Mass. But that being said, they are definitely not a Catholic church. And I'm so sorry about that. I don't know how embroiled he is in this church or in what it is that it teaches, but, it would be something that I think would be quite concerning. Sue, what do you say?
I do too, because I'm afraid, Edie, that some of that might rub off on you, and you're trying to just keep peace with your fiance and you're going to maybe start to go to his church with him. But these sacraments that they're celebrating in their masses and their liturgies, they're not real. They're not real. They're not the real thing. And I just want to. I think it's something that you probably would need to reconcile with him and to figure out, okay, how do we want to do this? Because that is not a Catholic church. And see if there's, some kind of a compromise that he would be willing to make, just to not do anything to stop you from going. I'm sure he's not doing that though, Edie, right? I mean, is he concerned about you being in a different church from him and maybe wanting you to go to his church? Does he ever talk about that?
Yeah, he wants me to go to his church.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem. You would not want to do that, of course, but obviously that's why you're calling in here, because you're concerned about it, and I don't blame you. You should be. But I think that this could be an opportunity now for you to just sit him down and talk with him and say, look, it's just not possible. I can't do that. I'm not going to be able to go into a church that's not my church, and you're asking me to give up my beliefs, and actually giving up, what I consider to be the fountain of grace in my life, which are the sacraments. That's a big ask for anybody to ask of somebody that they love to give up the sacraments that they've built their whole spiritual life upon. That's a very, very big ask, Edie. I'm sure that you can talk to him and maybe get him to see your point of view.
All right. Thank you for your advice.
Yeah. I don't think that this is reconcilable, especially if he is asking you to leave your church and is rather emphatic about that, because this is a sect. It is not in union with Rome. It really is, in a sense, more Anglican than it is anything else. So it would be giving up the fullness of truth for something that is basically in opposition to the fullness of truth. So I would hope that there would be some middle road in there, but I'm not quite sure that there will be. But I would talk with him. It's a big deal, and it's a hard thing. We'll be sure to keep you in prayer, Edie, as you traverse this situation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There are so many ways in which our faith can be compromised and really undermined. Yes. That on the surface seem as though it's not going to be a big deal, but becomes a big deal. And when it's a big deal before marriage, it's often not a big deal after marriage. There are exceptions, of course. And oftentimes, we could name people, Sue, where there are exceptions to that. But most typically, religion is one of the main areas of dispute that ends up causing divorce. And we certainly don't want to go into a marriage if that is a possibility that's looming out there and blowing in the wind.
Absolutely, absolutely. Boy, what a wonderful thing it is to be married to somebody who shares your faith. You're really letting God into that marriage. And it's a whole different dimension to life to be able to spiritually share that with your husband. And I know you and Jack were just such a great example of that, Johnnette. It's really the way God meant for it to be. But I don't see that it's impossible for her to work this out. But somebody is going to have to give. And
Right.
it can't be Edie, of course. It's going to have to be him.
Right.
Because, as I said, that's a very big ask to ask somebody that, especially, if religion is so important to Edie, that she would take the time today to pick up the phone and call us about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is something that she's concerned about, and she should be.
Yeah.
So we could just, keep her in prayer. And also, I'm hoping that Edie will pray for him, that Jesus will touch his heart and open him up to the truth, that he may find Jesus
Yes.
In the Catholic Church, perhaps start to, attend Mass with you.
Yeah.
So there's, I never shut the door. I always think that there's a way. With God, there's always a way. But you got to be careful not to get dragged into or get dragged away from your own beliefs out of love for this person.
Yeah.
God's love for God must come first.
That's right. 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986 is the way that you can join us today right here on Wacky Wednesday with Sue Brinkmann. Now, Sue, I know you've got a couple of topics planned out for us, so let's get to it. The first one is...
Walking
Mahjong.
Tai Chi.
Walking
And
Tai Chi.
I think, you wanted me to do Vita first.
Oh, it
Do
doesn't
you want
really
to do Vita?
matter. No,
Vita,
I want you
Mahjong,
to...
I can do Vita.
Whichever one you want to do. Let's do Walking Tai Chi.
All right, Walking Tai Chi. I think Vanessa has a call for us that came in on Vita Mahjong. I'm not sure.
My name is
not on
Maria,
Vita,
and my question has to do with, I've seen some advertising for Tai Chi walking, how it really helps you to tone up and to lose weight. And I'm wondering if this is somehow related to yoga. That's my questions. Thank you.
Okay,
Great question. Great question. And it's all over the place right now. If you go on to TikTok, you're going to see advertisements for Walking Tai Chi ad nauseum. They're every other thing is Walking Tai Chi, Walking Tai Chi. It's not related to yoga, as a matter of fact. Tai Chi is not, although it is energy work. It still is. It is related to the practice of Tai Chi, traditional Tai Chi. And it focuses really just on one aspect of Tai Chi, which is the slow, mindful stepping, rather than the full sequence of forms, which is what Tai Chi does. Tai Chi is different from yoga. Yoga, the asanas, the movements in that are positions of worship to Hindu gods. You don't have that issue with Tai Chi. Tai Chi, these are animal motions, and they're representing the different ways that animals work and move and that. And it's really supposed to be linking you with the natural world. That's what those movements are all about. But Tai Chi has also in it Qi, and this belief in the flow of universal energy, and the Tai Chi and these movements and this walking is supposed to help you to balance and harmonize yin yang, and to be able to, as I said, balance your energy in these slow rhythmic walking movements in that. So that's really what walking Tai Chi is all about. Now, can a Catholic practice it? Well, they can, because the movement themselves, it's just walking. It's saying that it does special things for your for fitness and that, but that isn't. Any kind of walking will help you. You don't have to do walking Tai Chi. Any kind of walking is good for you. And as long as you're not getting involved in the balancing of energy and that sort of thing, you're okay. You can do that.
Well, there you have it. Walking Tai Chi, you can do it if you're not getting involved in the balancing of energy. We want to stay away, most typically, from anything that does that. Usually it's identifiable by the word Chi, which does mean energy, life force energy, Ki, prana. Those are just some of the names that you sometimes see associated with these things. So I welcome the call. We were happy for the call. You can always leave us a call, too. Let me give you that number for our listener comment call-in line, and that number is country code 1-205-795-5773. To reach us today, however, on the air live, 833-288-EWTN. It's toll-free right here in North America, 833-288-EWTN. We're coming right back. Stay with us.
On the next Catholic Connection with Teresa Tomeo.
As we say in Radioland, don't touch that dial. Hi, it's Teresa Tomeo, and what a blessing it is for me to speak to you every morning on EWTN Global Catholic Radio, bringing you the latest news, important interviews on all that's happening in the church and the world, and all of this from a truly Catholic perspective. See you on Catholic Radio.
Catholic Connection with Teresa Tomeo, weekday mornings 9 Eastern on EWTN Radio.
This is a Pro-Life Minute with doctors Stephen and Gracie Christie.
Here's a real tough one, Steve. What about rape and incest?
Right, these are tough questions. The extremely rare cases of rape and incest are among the most common arguments made in support of abortion. It's an attempt to take the exceptional case and say it somehow applies to all cases, and that's just faulty logic, as we never make laws based on the exceptional case. I tell pro-choicers that if rape and incest, which account for less than 0.5% of all abortions, are really their argument for the right to abortion, then I congratulate them for being pro-life on the other 99.5% of cases. But the real argument we make, I'll leave to you.
Well, I tell them that the violence of abortion is no solution for the violence of rape. Where else do we solve one horrible thing with another equally horrible thing? A child is a child regardless of the circumstances of its conception.
Absolutely.
EWTN Kids Faith Adventures features a variety of faith-filled television programs for children of all ages. See what's in store for you and your family today at EWTN.com/kids.
Anna Mitchell here. Tomorrow morning on the Sunrise Morning Show, our Catholic counselor Kevin Prendergast will offer insights into how Lent can be an opportunity to improve our marriage. Now back to Women of Grace with Johnnette Williams.
Join in on the conversation. The Women of Grace phone lines are open. 1-833-288-EWTN, 1-833-288-3986.
Welcome back, friends. You are listening to Women of Grace Live. I am Johnnette Williams, so very happy to be with you today. Always happy on Wednesdays to be joined by Sue Brinkmann. We talk about the weird and the wacky on these days. Is there something that you are wondering whether or not it is New Age? Is it in union with the church? Can I practice this? What about it? We certainly do invite you to call us with all questions like that today. Again, that toll-free number for you is 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. That's the way that you can join us here. Looking forward to talking with you today right here on the air on EWTN Radio, brought to you by so many wonderful affiliates and available through so many platforms. Want to let you know that if you're outside of North America, you can call us too, country code 1-205-271-2985. That's country code 1-205-271-2985. Or you can leave a message or a comment for us at EWTN Radio's YouTube channel. Just go on out there, use that chat feature, tell us who you are, where you are, and how you're listening. We'll get your question retrieved and up on the board. Pedro's going to do that for us. Matthew is going to answer the phones, and Vanessa's going to keep it all going there in the studios of EWTN. Want to let you know something really exciting, and I want you to join me and Bishop William Walterscheid for our Poland pilgrimage that's coming up in September. We are going to be going to the places that felt the footsteps of St. John Paul II. We are going to go to those places that felt the footstep of St. Faustina and St. Maximilian Kolbe. We will be going to Auschwitz, as a matter of fact, and the place where St. Maximilian suffered and died for the faith, the place where Edith Stein was put to death, Sister St. Teresa Benedicta of the Cross, shortly after her arrival there. We're going to have an opportunity to really venerate their memory when we go to these places, and really, I think, in a most profound way, have a deeper understanding and appreciation of the gift of martyrdom. So I'm hoping that you're going to join us for this beautiful pilgrimage. We're going to have a lot of fun in the midst of it all. Bishop William Walterscheid is brilliant. He's going to be sharing from the depths of his heart, teaching us along the way. I'll be giving you a talk or two as well. We're just inviting you to come with us. So I do want for you to join us. Get out there, take a look. It's on our website. September 7th through the 16th is when we're going to be going. All of the information is available for you there. Again, 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. It's the way that you can join us. So, Sue, prior to the break, we were talking about walking Tai Chi. The question was, can we do that? Is it yoga? You said, no, it's not yoga. If we're just doing it, devoid of trying to balance energy, it's probably okay. But you've got a little caveat that you want to share as well.
Yeah, the one danger I see in walking Tai Chi is, I think, a pretty obvious one. Are you going to get more interested in delving into Tai Chi and wanting to do more Tai Chi? That's really where you're going to run into danger there. Is it going to kind of whet the appetite for a deeper immersion in the practice of Tai Chi? And that, of course, would then bring you into the philosophy that's behind it, which is not compatible with Christianity. So although walking Tai Chi is considered to be energy work, and if you feel like you have to do energy work in order to get a good walk in, you can go ahead and do that, so long as you're not participating in or believing in this whole energy thing, as long as you're just trying to walk. In which case, I would say, and I am a walker, just walk.
Yes.
Who cares about the walking Tai Chi is really nothing but a gimmick.
Yes.
It's just a fad.
Yeah.
And it's just one of these ways that works remarkably well in this country. It always has, really, for like the last century. Anything Eastern, when it comes to exercise, just happens to thrill the imagination of Americans for some reason. We just seem to like that, and we drift toward it. And unfortunately, often then drift into the philosophy and spirituality that's behind those things. So you don't really need walking Tai Chi to get a good walk. I've been doing it for years. Not walking Tai Chi, but walking. You could do fast walking, slow walking, uphill walking, downhill walking, all different kinds of walking. You really don't need walking Tai Chi. It really is kind of just a fad, the way yoga was. You remember when yoga first became a fad, the women would walk around in their yoga pants and the big shirt with the sloppy bun on the top of their head. Remember that, Johnnette? I mean, that was just
I well
there,
remember.
I'm into yoga, and that's how they sell it to people. That's how they sell it. And then before you know it, you get involved in yoga, which is, very really attached to the practice of Hinduism. Very much a part of the practice of Hinduism, which a lot of people say, well, that's not what I really wanted to do here. But that's what happens when we fall into the fad, I got to do what everybody's doing it fad. You can oftentimes go places that you really didn't intend to go. So that's the big risk, though, in Tai Chi, walking Tai Chi, that I see, that it could whet your appetite to sink more into that particular Eastern spirituality and practice. Be careful of that.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting when you consider the history of how all of this fascination began. And it really goes back to the World's Fair that was held in the 1800s here in the United States. And they brought in a yogi. And he just was a big splash with the people, and it just really started this fascination, which I think died away for a little while, but then came back. It was kind of hidden within some of the more esoteric opportunities, such as the Theosophical Society and things like that. But the fact of the matter is, it really, you are absolutely right, Sue. I mean, back in the 60s, this is, and of course the Beatles got people involved in this. But the danger is always that you begin with something that's, relatively benign. But then, that's one of the ways the evil one works. He starts to prey upon our curiosity, our fascination. And that is, a big kind of opening that allows for us to begin to go further, or at least entices us to go further. So we always recommend that you stay clear of these kinds of things. 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. So want you to share with us a little bit, Sue, about the other topic that we have, which is the game of Mahjong, which is, people have been playing this for a very long time.
Oh gosh, yes, centuries they've been playing this game. Vita Mahjong, which is really the one that's very popular right now. That's actually a mobile app that's based on the game Mahjong. It's related to it, and it's a free puzzle game that's designed for seniors. And it was developed by Vita Studio. That's where the Vita comes from. And it's a game that's played just with one person. You try to match tiles of certain symbols. So what I wanted to know is, okay, well, first of all, what's Mahjong? And I found out this is just a game that they've been playing for centuries over there in China. There's all actually different versions of Mahjong. There's an American version, a Japanese, Hong Kong, South African. So Mahjong isn't necessarily just Chinese. But the Vita Mahjong app, the one that I think is the most popular that everybody plays on their phone all the time, it's 144 different types of tiles that are in that game. And it's based on Chinese characters and symbols. So I said, okay, well, what are these symbols? What are those? Well, there are different suits of characters. The circles or the dots, they represent Chinese coins. The different characters represent the numbers 1 to 9. The bamboos or sticks, that represents money. Then there's other ones called the winds, and that represents east, south, west, and north winds. Dragons, red, green, and white dragons. And flowers, that's the plants of Confucius. So all the different tiles have a little meaning behind them, but there's no main meaning behind anything. Most of the honor tiles that I was just saying, the flowers, the winds, and that they have meanings such as wealth, prosperity. The drawing, playing of these tiles doesn't represent any kind of belief that you're going to get wealth or prosperity. It's just simply meant to be matched with another of the same tile. So I couldn't see any spiritual attachments to Chinese philosophies, to any kind of superstition when I was researching that. And I looked pretty deeply into it, and really didn't find anything. Didn't find anything down there. It's not linked to any particular religious belief. Now, players could incorporate superstition into that play, such as people will wear a lucky shirt while they're playing it, or they sit in a particular chair because they believe it produces your feng shui, But the game itself appears to have no connection to religion. So I'm sure a lot of people are out there like, what, it's not, don't worry about that. You can play that game. I play it. I like to play that game. I saw how I kind of relax after dinner at night. I just sit down there and play a few rounds of Vita Mahjong. If anything, I get pulled into competing with people like, this guy just beat me. I'm going to try to beat him now the next time around. I mean, I might get involved in that, but there's no religious connection to that game that I could see.
Well, that's very good news for all of the people who enjoy that game. And I'm assuming then that you're playing this online, Sue. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, it's an app.
Oh, okay. I'm remembering it. Yeah, I'm familiar. I'm not familiar with the game and how the game is played, but I am familiar with the tiles of the game. And I used to see that out and about, especially in resort areas. I know it was quite big in Miami for a long, long time. So it's online now. So I was wondering, how does she play that? Who is she playing that with? Are you going out and do you have a little Mahjong club? I'm sure that those exist. I'm sure that that's really quite a thing.
Yes, parishes have them. We've had people write into us and ask us, is it okay that I go and attend this game, the Mahjong game that's going on in my parish? And it's absolutely fine to do that, to play it. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing to do.
Yeah. So I just wanted to clarify something I had said a little earlier on. This is just a little interesting factoid, I think, when we think about the New Age and we think about the influx of Eastern Oriental mysticism here in the United States. It was Swami Vivekananda, who was a Hindu monk and a philosopher, and he famously represented Hinduism at the 1893 World's Parliament of Religion, and it was held during the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. He made an address there on September the 11th. That's interesting. And it introduced Eastern spirituality to a Western audience. He earned a lot of acclaim for it, and it really began this fascination with all of that kind of thinking and that Hindu perspective and the world religion. And this was a very notable World's Fair. There were I think it said it was 27 million people. Is that even possible? That attended this? That doesn't seem likely. I'll have to check that fact out a little bit later. But nonetheless, it was just a really enormously well-attended event. So lots of people were exposed to this, and it became a great big fad. And like you were saying earlier on, you know, we saw this blossoming in a big way in the 60s, and yoga became just this very, very big deal. And it remains a big deal. I mean, it's really become a major industry here in the United States, garnishing a lot of followers of it. And as you've told us many times, Sue, and is the case, the one yoga, there's many of them, but the one that is most noticed and recognized and practiced here in the United States is the one passed off as exercise, which is Hatha yoga, but it's anything but that. So be careful about these things. And I'm always glad when we have people that call and ask. 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986 is the way that you can join us here. Phone lines are open for you. Matthew Gabensky answering them. In addition to that, we have Pedro Quiles out there collecting your questions left for us at EWTN Radio's YouTube channel. We've got Denise with us. She's calling in from San Antonio, Texas this morning, listening to us via Guadalupe Radio Network. Good morning to you, Denise.
Oh, hello. How are you, Johnnette?
Good. How are you,
Sorry.
Denise? That's okay.
Doing well, thank you. Okay. So I have a question about goats. During the Olympics, Snoop Dogg he wears a goat necklace himself. And during the Olympics, they were showing that he gave a goat necklace to one of the Olympian skiers. And there's also a children's animated goat movie out at the theaters now. And so I just feel like there's got to be something demonic and not right about it. But if you have more information, I would love to hear it.
Okay, Sue, goats. What about goats?
Well, I'm going to look into it just briefly here now, but I will dig further into it. But from what I'm reading about the goat necklaces, there's actually a couple different meanings behind it. First of all, goat can mean greatest of all time. And I'm sure that that's probably why he was giving the Olympian a goat medal or a goat necklace, because that's what it stands for, GOAT, greatest of all times. But it's also associated with goats and the different characteristics of goats, the qualities of a goat, such as their determination, their independence, their resilience, and I might add their stubbornness. Goats can be very stubborn. That's another reason for it. Now, as far as the movie is concerned, it's an animated movie, right? I think that's what you're talking about, is the animated movie of it's kind of an underdog story about a little determined goat who dreams of playing roarball, that's like very dangerous, high stake, animal filled version of basketball. And he's very small, and he has to really fight to be able to get on this team and to play. So, and then he does go on to become, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. So that's what that movie is about. I'm not seeing anything demonic, but this is just a quick view. And if there's one thing that I have learned in this work that I do here, Denise, is that a quick view doesn't always tell you what you need to know. So I will look a little bit more deeply into it. And if I do find some stuff attached to this, other meetings attached to this goat fad that's going on out there, I will absolutely let you know about that. I will let you know about it. But right now, I'm not seeing anything that's raising any red flags for me.
Okay. Well, there is Sue, a goat that is associated with Satanism. Baphomet
Right.
is a
Yes.
winged goat-headed hermaphroditic figure that symbolizes the occult. But I think just the GOAT, greatest of all time, is most typically what that's associated with. But I'm glad you're going to check it out a little bit more deeply, because I think it's an excellent question, and especially when it comes to our children, because so many, and I don't know about this particular animated film, but so many of the animated films are just loaded with occult symbolism, occult practices, occult language. And so as parents, we've got to be, and grandparents, we've got to be very, very wise about these things and very alert regarding them, so that our young ones are not led down some kind of path that desensitizes them to these things and opens them up potentially to activities within them. So it's really, really prudent to check on these things, Denise. So I really am glad and grateful for your call. Keep listening and look at our blog out there at womenofgrace.com. Our New Age blog is penned by Sue. We've got other blogs there as well. But the New Age blog certainly is heavily trafficked. And Sue is always writing a blog about them. And so maybe you'll see something there as well. But thank you for your call today. Thank you for your question. It's a very, very good one. Let's go to Marion in El Paso, Texas, a first-time caller, ringing my bell for you, Marion. We're very happy to have you. And she is listening to us via Alexa. Hi, Marion.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, thank you. I just had a quick question. I understand that as Catholics, we're not supposed to do yoga or, get involved with that. But there's a clothing brand that's athletic apparel called Alo, A-L-O, and I received a sweatshirt as a gift. And I didn't know because, technically, I think it started off as a yoga clothing brand, if that's okay to wear or not.
Sue?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is a clothing brand. ALO stands for Air, Land, and Ocean. I'm looking at the website now, looking for an about page to see if we can find out what's going on with the people who run the company. I'm looking for that now, because that's where you often find a lot of secret stuff, who we are. Here's something down here about it. But as far as wearing as long as their clothing is not has a blessing or something upon it, it would be okay to wear. It's just clothing. I'm just looking at, they have fair labor practices, workplace standards. I'm not seeing anything here about any kind of spirituality based on, of course, I will again go in and look a little further. They call it the allosphere, an ecosystem of total mind and body wellness. So that's kind of making me have a little pause there. I will continue to look into this one too. These are all good ones today. We got some good ones in here today, Johnnette.
Yeah, I know. Giving you lots of work to do in research.
I never run out of that too. I know where I go. I never do.
No. Yeah, I mean, it seems
I will do it.
It seems to me that their basic philosophy is probably on that line of Hinduism, etc. ALO yoga is in the name of their website there. I went out here too. And of course, they've got a whole section to shop by activity. But again, that is a very, what do I want to say? There's been so much of the use of the word yoga today because it is attractive to people. And so it's been used by retailers just to build on a fad to help sales. So put yoga in the name and you're probably going to sell it. So whether or not they're deeply engaged, in that kind of a belief system and would in some way, implement that in the manufacturing of their goods is something that I don't know about. But I'm glad you're going to check on it. And I sincerely hope that...
I already found something.
That helped you. Oh, you did?
Go ahead. Found something in here that makes me very, very uncomfortable. They have a foundation. The Alo Foundation's projects include enabling access to yoga for children and their caregivers, initiatives that promote the mind-body connection, to improve mental and physical health and emergency relief for communities and ecosystems impacted by natural disasters. I don't like that at all. So that's where a lot of their money's going to enabling access to yoga for children and their caregivers. That's right there. I would stay away from them. You don't need, but you're wearing it doesn't mean it because you didn't buy it. Somebody gave it to you. But if you're buying something, you're promoting their project here, which is to spread yoga throughout the world. Do we really want to do that? And I think, if you look into it, you find out these things. I'm going to write more about it, though, because now I'm very interested in it. So I will look back and see, okay, what else are they doing if they're doing this? And who the people are who are behind it, just what's going on with that. So thank you for that question. It's a great one.
Well, thank you very much for being with us today. And Sue, it's always a pleasure to have you here every Wednesday when we answer the weird and the wacky questions that you either send in or call in to share with us. We always invite you to join us Monday through Friday at this same time right here on EWTN Radio. We love being with you, inviting you once again to check out our website, see where I'm going to be. Join me for one of these upcoming events and join us in Poland. Ooh, it's going to be so wonderful. I can't wait. September is when we're going there. All of the info at womenofgrace.com. Until we have the opportunity to be together again, continue to make this Lent the best one that you've ever lived. Open your heart to all of the graces God wants you to receive. God bless you now. Bye-bye.
Ave Maria in the Afternoon, premiering July 15th with Dr. Marcus Peter. An engaging take on the church, culture, and current events.
Hi, I'm Marcus Peter. Tune in weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern as we